climate change activists gone too far in their quest to save the earth from big oil? Perhaps. Let's take a look at some of the activism that they've been involved in. So this is actually out of Food and Wine. Hey, why are people throwing food at priceless works of art? In the past couple of weeks, protesters have gone after a Van Gogh with tomato soup and a Monet with mashed potatoes. So the fight against climate change appears to have a new front line: art museums. And the weapon of choice is food. So for the second time this month, European protesters threw food on a priceless piece of art and posted video of the incident online to raise awareness of the perils of climate change. So we had a German group, Last Generation, throwing potatoes at a Monet, the grain stacks. The artwork was purchased in 2019 for over $110 million, but fortunately it was displayed behind protective glass and it prevented any damage. And here it is. It's just a shame that Monet is not here to witness this. But to make society remember that the fossil fuel is killing us all. Is it?
Hallo. Wo wollen Sie kommen?
Menschen hungern. Menschen frieren. Menschen sterben. Wir sind in einer Klimakatastrophe. Und alles, wovor ihr Angst habt, sind Tomatensuppe oder Kartoffelbrei an einem Gemälde. Wisst ihr, wovor ich Angst habe? Davor, dass die Wissenschaft sagt, dass wir 2050 unsere Familien nicht werden ernähren können.
People are starving, people are freezing, people are dying. One of the protesters began after they glued their hands to the wall beneath the art. We are in a climate catastrophe and all you are afraid of is tomato soup or mashed potatoes on a painting. Actually, no, I'm not afraid of these food on a painting. I just think it's a terrible thing to do and it's a poor way to get your message across. But you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid because science tells us that we won't be able to feed our families in 2050. Well, hey, I've got a news flash, lady. That's like almost 30 years away. A lot of things could happen between now and then, so why are you going to throw tomato soup on a priceless Van Gogh? So what is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? Well, can't we have both? I mean, what are you, like 15 years old? Like, you don't know shit about shit. So think about the consequences of your actions and think about diplomacy. This helps nobody. I'll guarantee you that there's not a single person watching this who is just on the fence about the climate change thing and whether we should do something until these activists brought it to their attention. And now they're paying attention and they're wanting to do something. They want to join the cause with you. No.
Security.
What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
So perhaps this wave of environmental activism began in May in Paris when a man threw a cake at the Mona Lisa, but the man didn't appear to have an associate filming him and didn't have any prepared remarks. So I guess maybe other people said, hey, that was a great idea, but we should film it next time. Let people know that they're going to destroy the earth in 30 years if we don't do something about it. And now there's a new one as unhinged climate activists in the Netherlands have glued themselves to another wall at an art museum over another famous painting.
Zie dat nou aan het doen? Hey! Ja, wat is er? Wat is die aan het doen?
How do you feel? How do you feel when you see something beautiful and priceless being apparently destroyed before your eyes? Do you feel outraged? Good. Where is that feeling when you see the planet being destroyed before our very eyes?
Obscene. Oh no! Hey, shame on you.
And a man appeared to be pouring a can of tomatoes on another man who was then attempting to glue his head to the famous artwork. How do you feel when you see something beautiful and priceless being apparently destroyed? You know, where is that feeling when you see the planet being destroyed before our very eyes? But at least they were actually heckled by the art lovers in the museum. And how is that going to help anything? So how do I feel? It makes me angry that you're that fucking stupid that you think that that's going to solve something, or that's going to get your point across, or that I'm somehow going to join your cause. Why don't you show me the proof? Show me irrefutable scientific proof that we're heading towards a catastrophe, and don't destroy a priceless work of art in the process, and we'll sit down and talk. But fortunately, they were heckled in the museum by the art lovers, you know, for the same reason. I would have done the same thing. I'm sorry I wasn't there. But the police showed up, made some arrests, and fortunately the masterwork was not damaged. And they went on to say that art is defenseless, and we condemn all attempts to damage it for whatever reason. We will not make any further comment because we do not want to honor this action with extra attention. But there's more. You got last week, green activists glued themselves to the floor of a Porsche pavilion at a car show in Germany. And one of the activists, Gianluca Grimalda, is also going on a hunger strike until their climate change demands are met. Good luck with that, buddy. So, however, the staff at Porsche was not bothered. Instead, they just left him at the car show overnight. But when the staff from the museum left for the day, leaving the activists inside, they complained that they had no food and there was no heating and lighting. It makes you wonder what they were expecting would happen. Like they were going to be applauded for that. Like they were going to be served food and drinks and be patted on the back and given, comfortable pillows and bedding to sleep in. I mean, yeah, you're right. You guys did a fantastic job. We were on the fence, but we should just get rid of all petroleum products and just end this car show for these brave people. Thank you so much for bringing this to the public's awareness. So this goofball, Gianluca, says they refused our request to provide us with a bowl to urinate and defecate in a decent manner while we are glued and turned off the heating. Well, maybe you shouldn't fucking glue your hands to the wall, which he found out the hard way after 24 hours, glued to the floor, and a nearly sleepless night, my hand got swollen. How did you expect this to unfold, you fucking idiot? So the Volkswagen manager came in there and was just like, yeah, forget you guys. And then finally, I guess, had to take a look at his hand because it was swollen. Like they pissed off Volkswagen people and they refused to let them see a doctor until they actually looked at his hand and went, oh shit. But you know what? You did it to yourself, man. So here we find out doctors found out he had a possibility of life-threatening blood clots and recommended an immediate transfer to a hospital. So his health, of course, is paramount, so they had to remove him from the floor, but he's going to continue with his hunger strike like anyone gives a shit. So somebody posted this excellent meme here, the oil protester starter pack, that all of these products, the hair dye, the glue, the shoes, the graphic tees, the phones, they all need oil to make that stuff. So you guys just don't know what you're talking about, but you go run into this activism. Maybe your heart's in the right place, but your brain is not. And it's not just art museums or car shows. It's also in traffic. Again, you got these climate protesters standing in the streets, pissing people off as they're trying to commute to home or work or what have you. My God, we have some real stupid people. You guys might think you're trying to do something helpful, but you're just useful idiots. This isn't going to change anyone's mind. It's just going to piss them off even more. And here we have our beautiful planet, about 4.5 billion years old. At one point, you can see this continent of Africa here with Europe up in the north. But I mean, at one point, this was Pangea. It was all the continents just merged together. And over the millions of years, it is drifted apart. It doesn't look anything like it used to be. It's gone through all kinds of different climate changes. There have been warm periods. There have been massive ice ages. So there is nothing to suggest that the Earth has had the same constant temperature for billions of years. It's always changing to some degree over long periods of time. But there's nothing to suggest that it's man-made global warming because we're burning fossil fuels. The science is far from settled on that. One volcano goes off and it could do a lot more damage to the atmosphere than all of the petroleum we've burned in the last 100 years. So there's no reason to cause all these problems, to block traffic, to glue yourself to a floor, to damage artwork. Here is a great tweet from with Greta here, climate change, where the weather is always your fault and the only solution is more communism. And yeah, we are heading towards the UN Agenda 2030, when they want to do micromanagement of the population and carbon credits and carbon footprints. Is it for the greater good of the earth, or is it for money, power, and control by elitists who think we're overpopulated with stupid people? And a lot of that stuff is brought out by the World Economic Forum, the people that are like in the billionaire class who want you to own nothing and be happy. Well, there you have it. So I appreciate activists doing activist things, but this is a terrible cause, and there's not enough information on your side to want to go and piss people off without having more facts on your side. So just be smart out there. So I really would hate to see this trend continue, or there's going to be more retaliation. It's not going to have the effects you think. You're just being useful idiot tools for the people that do want to control the world. Inform yourselves better, make a better argument, and then present it to the people in a different way, and maybe we'll listen to what you have to say, because we do all care about the earth, and we do want to make it a better place. And that's all I've got. So thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.